This is Milo, the veiled chameleon. We think he's roughly probably 2.5 months old. We've had him for almost 2 months, and we think he was probably sent to us at about a month old when we got him from LLL Reptile. He just shed for the first time like 2 days ago. It seemed to be a pretty painless shed in that it took basically several hours. He looked kind of leathery and like his skin was super dry. He looked like that for like a few days, probably maybe a week at most, and then you could kind of see it peeling off at his feet. And then in the morning, as he kind of tried to hide from me when I put his food out, his skin just all peeled off, and then throughout that day it was gone. And I'm just glad he was able to do that, because it was also happened to be the hottest day of the year that day. And so I was afraid that he'd be too dry and, uncomfortable, but it seems like everything worked out. But he's certainly grown a lot in the last week, because about 3 weeks ago he was hardly eating. He was probably eating like a few crickets, and a lot of his crickets would get away in his cage, but now he's been really good about eating. I've been able to put 10 or more crickets, 15 or so in his cage, and he'll eat them all. So that's been really exciting, and with that, he's grown a lot. It's been kind of amazing how much you can notice he will change, mostly from his, I don't know what you want to call it, his like girth, basically. His, the height from his, the bottom of his belly to the top of his spine, that in particular has gotten a lot wider. But in general, he just seems a bit bigger. Just in the past week or two, it's been very noticeable, and I think I really just attribute that to him eating so many crickets. He's been able to eat some big crickets too. Typically, we're supposed to feed him what they call tweakers, basically like 1 week old crickets. They're very, very tiny, and so, but lately he's been able to eat, because I have some leftovers from early previous weeks. He's been able to eat probably like 3 or 4 week crickets, and which are quite large compared to him, and he's been able to eat them just fine, which has been kind of exciting. But yeah, he seems pretty good. He's checking me out, and he's weirded out by my phone. But at least with him standing still, we can get some decent shots of him.
Yay, Milo.
He's trying to figure out what he wants to do.
Escape.
Yeah,
Escape.
He wants to get away from me, probably. He's fine when you get him out of his cage. He's totally fine with like hanging out. He is definitely like kind of sketched out by us holding him, but he isn't aggressive to us once we're holding him. He's usually pretty chill and just kind of hanging out and observing and seeing what's going on. That said, he doesn't like to get taken out of his cage. He will immediately when he sees me kind of walk in the room, he will try to kind of hide a bit. He'll like hide behind a branch, or he'll go like lower into the cage or whatever. When I put my hands in there, he will try to get away, to the point where he will hiss at me and try to get away as much as he can. So I have to kind of like outsmart him by coming from below and then getting him to kind of climb up the cage, and then grabbing him, getting him to basically kind of walk into my hand or fall into my hand in some cases. Obviously, we're trying to be really gentle with him.
Yeah, we need to underscore that we're not being heavy-handed with this adorable tiny little thing.
Yeah,
we're very gentle with him, and we're not ever picking him up.
Yeah,
we're trying to like scoop him up in a way that's
Yeah.
safe for him.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm not going in there with like a claw hand and grabbing them.
The claw.
Yeah.
It probably still looks like that to him though, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's this giant thing. I can't ever escape.
Yeah. He's I get Devin's face in there so you don't have like
Sleepy face.
a sleepy. But anyways, we don't grab him from his sides and stuff like that. Obviously, it's super easy to break his ribs or screw up his tail or anything like that. But thankfully, he's done okay. He's had a couple spills where he's kind of fallen in his cage as he reaches out for branches or tries to get away from us when I pick him up, but I don't pick him up that much. I'd say like a few times a month lately. But yeah, overall he seems pretty happy, especially over the past week. I was worried like 3 weeks ago when he wasn't eating. I was afraid there was something messed up with him, but I think maybe he just was going through some sort of phase. But now he seems to be pretty healthy.
He's starting to get a little pale. Maybe we should put him back.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye, Mr. Chameleon. Bye, Milo.
Bye, Milo.